A very warm welcome back then to the Soccer World Championships. Day 2 is already well underway here in Cancun, and now we turn our attention to Group A. It's a group that has the home nation. Based on their slick performances last night, it's very much a group Mexico will believe they can win. And so, with Belgium losing their opening game, the opportunity is very much there for these two sides. Up next, it's Australia taking on Ireland.
Now we're gonna listen the national anthem of Ireland. Y ahora escucharemos el himno nacional de Irlanda. Y ahora escucharemos respetuosamente el himno nacional de Australia. And now we're listening the national anthem of Australia.
Here we go then, Group A very much underway with Mexico kicking things off last night with an impressive 3-0 victory over Belgium. And as I said, the door of opportunity very much ajar for these two sides. Big teams in the group, a big day ahead. Alongside me, Mr. Soccer, Dan Shaw. This is one we had our eye on from the very beginning. Give me your thoughts, Dan.
Well, my thoughts are I'm absolutely buzzing to watch this one, Rob, because Ireland, a side that we know well, we have close ties with our friends from across the water. You know, they've got a lot of experience for what is essentially a very young side. They've been in this game for a long time now. They get to most tournaments, the Euro Cups and the World Cup, World Championships, they're here. And they've learned a lot from it over the years. They've got better. It's actually been a pleasure to watch these boys develop and learn on the job. And each time they turn up, there's just something extra about them. And what there certainly is a passion and a pride in their Irish roots and a desire to go and win and get out of these group stages. If they get to the knockouts, they'll be absolutely ecstatic. And then on the other hand, of course, you have Australia, who were in Oman last year, who didn't get out of the groups, but were really unlucky at times. There were a couple of games where they just lost concentration. A couple of times they conceded in the first minute, a couple of times in the last. In between that, they were perfect. And they've learned a lot. They've been really well coached, really well drilled. And they too are desperate to get out of the groups and prove a point to the world that these guys can play soccer.
Very much so. Ireland certainly a team that has matured over the last few years. Some players now will feel right at home at World Championship competitions. And as for Australia, we've just seen it there, Czechia, showing why this is the only way to get experience.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and the beauty of this game is that both sides in their own dressing room will be saying, we've got to win this one. These are here to be beaten. So that's what makes it so intriguing, is that they're both absolutely desperate to get that first game victory.
Make no mistake, it was Mexico who picked up the victory, but Belgium looked very decent indeed. Coming up against the hosts, the favourites, in many people's eyes, a difficult task in your opening game. And so it is Ireland up against Australia, and both teams will be desperate to get a victory in the opening game. We're underway here. Mentioned in the build-up just then, this Irish side growing in maturity. They're doing all of the right things. Their captain, Sam Watkin, adamant they're going to do it right. They're going to have no excuses come the end of the tournament. A very appropriate Eminem song begins, really building up the tension here. And it'll be a cagey opening few minutes, you imagine. Australia with the ball as it stands. Joey Guest left-footed to the back stick. Not a bad ball at all. Speranza looking to get his head on it. Just couldn't quite guide it on target.
Yeah, but he did well to get there in the end, because it was pretty well driven, and it was a straight driving ball. It wasn't as though it was curling out towards him. He had to try and get up and over the top of it, and he got some contact on it, which was credit to him in the first place, but unable to steer it on target.
A slip there from Mimna. Fortunately, he wasn't punished. Very few teams can play that long ball strategy well in soccer. A few teams try it, but the pitch is small and the spaces are tight. And so if you do have a forward player who can pick those balls out the sky and create opportunities, it's such an advantage, but a difficult thing to do. Not something that Ireland typically try to do. They're very aware of where their talents lie. Happy to get it out wide. And then Rob Ryan. They've got a very, very willing runner. Guest sends it. Goes. Here is Joey Guest, looking for spaces of which there are so few. That will be a free kick. Waved away. Carolyn laughed that one off then. Cagey opening few minutes here. Australia with the lion's share of possession. Just probing here, looking to get it to the byline. Unable to do so. Powers there tidying up. It's always nice to have a man calm and collective at the back, and that he certainly is.
Yeah, he worked hard this year. Andy Power didn't make the squad for the Euro Cup, and he's had a couple of niggles here and there. 35 now, Andy Power, but he's telling me he's feeling really good, and he told me I've got another 5 years in me.
Well, he's perfectly mobile. We talk about his attributes, his strength, his calmness at the back really does bring that element of security to the Irish defence, but he's perfectly mobile. He certainly gets up and down the field when needed.
Well, he's a crucial player. The thing with Andrew Power is that he knows where the back of the net is. You know, he comes up with him. It's important to have goal scorers. You can have good players, but if you haven't got someone who can stick it in the net, you're not going to win games. So he's someone who certainly knows how to get goals.
I'm afraid just looking for Ryan up top. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. They've got their head up. That's the important part. They're looking for those runners, of which they have a few. Again, though, Australia in no hurry to move forward. They're building rather nicely. Players finding space. Joey Guest on the right. Into the middle it goes now. Slick passing from the Aussies. Opportunity here, though, for Ireland. Coming forward with Rob Ryan. Pass out wide, and Watkin does well to control initially. That will be an Irish flying in there.
Just the smallest bit behind him, wasn't it? That pass from Ryan just needed a little bit further ahead of him.
It looked dangerous though. That's a push in the back, surely. No, says the referee. Won't give up on it though. Ryan immediately back in there. And that will be a free kick. David Mimna. Good interception though there. Just jumped in front of the pass. Good energy from the Irish in these early stages, but again, a good start from Australia. Happy with the ball at their feet.
Yeah, I mean, they look a slick side, don't they? They're knocking it about nicely. Look quick. Don't spend too long on the ball. They move it around. Don't dwell on it.
Onofre looking for options in the centre circle now. Ryan is one of them. Lays it off nicely to Carolan. To the byline it goes, into the area and into the side netting.
Well, nice bit of play from Ireland this time. Both sides, it's been refreshing in this game so far, in that both sides are trying to play some nice football. Ireland perhaps looking a little more on the counter at the moment.
Carolan to deliver then. 3 options just outside the area. Power is powering forward, but it's Rob Ryan at the back stick. Decent header on target, just not enough power to beat the keeper.
And Andy Power just made that run at the near post, didn't he? Just to distract the Australians, make them believe that that's where the ball was going and just offer a little bit of extra space for Rob.
That was wayward there from Young. And again, talked about experience, and as Czechia proved in the previous game, when the nerves are high, mistakes happen. And regardless of the preparation these two sides put into it, nerves will be high. Here's Ryan. Just looking to swing across in. There was a runner at the back stick. Then looking to get on the end of it. Never made it that far, and it will be a kick in on the near touchline. 6 minutes gone, and it's on a knife edge.
Es rebotado en Esperanza otra vez. Ahora tenemos tiro de esquina en favor de Irlanda. Avanza en línea, avanza, gana terreno en este juego y bueno. Oportunidad para Irlanda en tiro de esquina ahora del otro lado. Contrario a lo que fue hace un minuto del lado izquierdo, la portería que ofende, ahora del lado derecho.
It does surprise us sometimes that some teams do rock up without a plan from dead ball opportunities.
Mismo jugador para correr.
Aren't one of those teams. Here's Power.
Viene hacia atrás, rebotado, parece que le alcanza, sí le alcanzan. Y van a ir hasta donde está Lucas seguramente, sí.
Forced
El balón se lo
backwards.
entregan a Lucas, cuidado que se puede meter en predicamentos. No, resuelve bien, correctamente, salta la línea buscando donde siempre el balón ahora no conecta
But as
con
they
nadie.
settle into this
Escapa
game as
por
we
la línea
approach
final,
7
saque
minutes.
de arco para el equipo
Boys in green
australiano.
certainly getting their foot on the ball a little bit more. But the Aussies will be happy with how they've started the game.
Jugando.
Their build up
Capitán
far more
número 9
patient,
del
happy to
equipo
work it
de
forward.
Australia. Sam Young.
Picking up that quarterback role as it stands.
Viene con Guest. Guest a donde, cuidado, intentaba
That ball
mandarlo
from Joey Guest over to the back stick.
No logra
Certainly a
encontrarlo.
route
Tenemos
that they've
saque de
practiced.
arco.
Danny De Silva's
Para
been
el
there a
equipo
few
irlandés.
times now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something they're looking to exploit, isn't it? It
Ahí
hasn't
está
quite
Luca
been the right
Onofre.
execution so far, but
Viene otra vez con Lucas.
Australia
Cuidado
made
que
a
se
plan.
puede
Not a
complicar.
traditional target man, Danny De Silva.
En una de esas le roban, le puntean
Not
y el
the tallest.
balón podría pisar la
Sam
red. Hay
Watkins
portero, se
certainly has
enreda
a
con la
couple
red.
of inches on him.
Ahí a
A heavy
Silva
touch
se
there.
le olvidó la descendencia
Presents
brasileña.
possession back to the Irish. They certainly
Le rebota el
do
balón en
appear
la
to have
pierna
a
con
route
mala
to goal
técnica.
in
El balón
mind.
sale por un costado.
The
Van otra vez
Aussies.
con Lucas.
As Dan
Lucas
said, it
levanta
hasn't quite come
la
off yet.
mirada. ¿A dónde?
Onofre
Y ha
up to
buscado
Ryan.
otra vez
A Ryan.
a Ryan, que la verdad le está costando a Robert Ryan Egan.
Carolan not happy
Está
about
jugando
that,
como
Rob. He's
pivot.
just turned around to
Tiene
Lindsay
altura,
and said, "You're
pero
giving
aún así
him
está
the
encontrando. El
chance.
balón
Keep it
no
on the deck.
estaba
He doesn't want that
quieto, está
ball
en movimiento y
flying up in
sigue. Y
the
bueno,
air.
el árbitro dice, ya
He's gotta
corre,
reach
juégale.
his target.
We said at the start, sometimes you think there are two of
Viene
Rob
otra
Ryan
vez.
on the field. He's all over the
John.
place.
Oh, he's a battler.
Oh, absolutely.
con
But there's
Esperanza.
only so much you can do, and those
Esperanza
passes
buscando de
do
Silva,
need
el
to be a
balón se
little
va
bit more
afuera.
accurate.
Le está faltando un poquito de emociones a este
Not
partido.
going to give them any
O
space
sea,
here.
intentan,
Speranza
hay dinámica,
happy to put
pero
his
no
body on the
tanto
line. That
disparo fuerte.
he's already shown that a few
Pero
times
está
today.
faltando los dos equipos. Viene Irlanda otra vez.
Speranza anywhere will
Ahí
do
se
for him.
cruza correctamente Esperanza,
Carolan
no lo deja
Causing
jugar.
him a few issues.
Le piden otra vez, se vienen los cambios de
Rob
Irlanda,
Ryan.
sale el número 10, Robert
Very keen,
Ryan.
was trotting
Been
down the
chomping at the
touchline,
bit
then
there, I
back
think
to
you
the
call it.
line.
Rob
Dara
Ryan's
Heelan.
done his running for the moment. I'm sure we'll see him
Al terreno de
again.
juego.
But Dara
Viene el
Heelan is the
disparo
man
número
on top
3,
for
ahí está el
Ireland
portero
now.
que se queda con
Here
él
go the
correctamente.
Aussies on the break. It's
Oportunidad
with De
para
Silva.
Australia, viene el
Can he
disparo,
deliver a ball?
no.
Powers there to
Quería
chop
hacer
it
una
out.
diagonal hacia atrás,
There was a
buscando
runner at the back stick.
justamente
It
a
was
este
Joey
número
Guest.
21 por parte del
Busted a
equipo
lung to get up there.
australiano. A Joe Guest no le encuentra, se viene
Quick
cambio.
turnover on the
Dispara otra
counter.
vez.
Right-footed effort blocked,
Joey
falls to a
Guest
green
estaba
jersey.
fuera.
Ran
Joey
into a
Guest estaba
cul-de-sac
fuera.
though, and Power's going to have to get them out of it. That looked as though it was a handball, not given, unbelievable save. Play continues, and that could be the save of the tournament. How on earth has he got a hand to that?
I tell you what, it's not always comfortable at his feet, Lucas, I'm afraid. But he's a goalkeeper, and he keeps that goal incredibly well. That is a beauty of a save from young Lucas Onofre. He made a couple of stunning saves in the Euro Cup earlier on this year, and he just kept Ireland level and maybe spared Andy Powell.
Well, he's got 2 tournaments under his belt, the World Cup last year and the Euro Cup this year, but his show reel just got that little bit longer because that will be straight in there. Unbelievable save. And a big one too, because the Aussies look dangerous. They've been direct, they've been decisive with their passing.
Ya no es solamente por el mar,
And we
por
saw in the
nuestras
previous
hermosas
game,
playas,
if you
es por
can
el
be clinical when
fútbol,
it
porque el
matters, you
Socca
put
trajo
yourself
el
in a
mundial,
really good
el
position.
Socca
And again,
mundial
they're
Championship
quick
está
on
aquí,
it,
justamente.
immediately runners forward as soon as
Por el
possession
costado
is turned
izquierdo,
over.
qué
To
correcto,
the byline it'll go.
Stephen
There is the cross, and from no more than 4 yards away, it's over the bar from the Aussies. Speranza was up there.
Esperanza falló en
Not a
ese
position he
momento.
looked particularly comfortable to be in, but another chance for the Aussies.
Well, it's unlucky, but that all comes from the fact that as soon as the ball's in the
Así
keeper's
es, y
hands,
bueno,
they're
la
off.
logra salvar al equipo. Cuidado, parece
They
una
are
infracción
mightily
sobre
quick. Bodie
este
Denton,
jugador número
the
16. El
player
árbitro
in goal for Australia,
concede.
and regardless of how he's performing between the
Stepping.
sticks in terms of saves,
Ahí está, le cometen la
he's very
falta.
much starting the chances for Australia.
5 pasos, 4, 5, 6
I love it.
pasitos,
It's
dice
so
el
well
árbitro.
drawn. I mean, we know they've had
Hasta
Le va a
ahí.
pegar Daniel da Silva
He might have
y ya
had a little
vimos,
say in that.
sí le dolió que le dijiste que se le olvidó la descendencia
Probably
porque
so
acá
far, only a few
ya
games
empezó a hacer
in the
trazos
tournament so far, the
espectaculares,
quickest
vamos a ver.
To Silva then from the
Viene
dead
el
ball,
disparo
straight into the
rebotado.
wall. Good defending.
Otra vez con este 6 que acaba de reingresar al partido,
Coach
estaba
and the
fuera.
Aussies have had.
Le va a dar cama, le dice
in the build-up
tranquilidad,
to this.
cuidado, sí, la puntean. ¿Quién? Balón para
That's
Irlanda,
the
dice el
important part.
árbitro.
You've got to come with a game plan. And this one's slightly unique. You don't see it often. The keeper just constantly looking for the quick ball
Silvante
when you've
estaba
got the
más
runners.
cerca, pero
As they say, it'd be rude not to hit them.
Oh, brilliant. I'm really impressed. Really impressed. with
0 por
Australia,
0.
particularly in
Pero
that
vendrá
area.
el
They've
cuadro
knocked it about
irlandés
beautifully at times.
a buscar
They
hacia el
have
frente.
indeed. Ireland back on the
Ya
ball.
se
That's a lovely
fueron.
turn. The cross comes in, immediately blocked out. And as soon as possession is turned over in defence, the runners in gold flooding forward. Mightily impressive. But the important part is that we're 12 minutes in and the scoreline remains 0-0. A win here, massive for either team. Here's Morrison on the field now. His left-footed effort blocked away by Watkin. And that is something, a real standout trait of Ireland. They do put the bodies on the line. They're happy to lunge in. Anything they can get in the way of the ball, they will do so. Onofre playing with a little bit of confidence now after a mighty save not too long ago. And really at the moment, the star men on the pitch are the 2 goalkeepers. Watkins then assessing his options. Drilled into feet is a good touch. And I wouldn't want to make that call. It's gone the way of the boys in gold. Both teams battling for this, though, real hard from the start, Dan.
They want it so badly. I know that just from speaking to both sides before the tournament and in the build-up, they're desperate for it.
There's something about this stadium. You can really feel the atmosphere. Another opportunity, another big save from Lucas Onofre. As I was saying, you can really feel the atmosphere and the feelings. All of the coaches are just below us. You can feel how much these 2 teams want it. They smell the opportunity.
Well, the other thing is that they know they're really fighting for second place in the real world because Mexico is so strong. The one place is up for grabs.
Every victory will matter. Dara Heelan on the corner. Carolyn. Lovely switch to his captain, Watkins. Shapes to shoot, but immediately gold jerseys attend to him over on the left side. And difficult one to control for Carolyn, and it will be a gold ball.
Yeah, it's a little unlucky. It was a nice ball through from Carolyn initially, and then Watkins trying to give it back to him. Just a touch too heavy, and it was just a bit too much for Carolyn. Otherwise, and it would have been a decent ball, but execution just marginally off from Watkins.
What they're doing nicely, Australia, is they dial up their pace of play so quickly and frequently. When they build up slowly, they're looking for that accurate pass, just really trying to pass it into the net, but all of a sudden they'll ramp it up to 10 and break on you like a flood.
Well, Adeli already the number 10 up top. He looks like he's become a target man, so they might mix it up and try and get the ball into him and run off of him.
It's interesting to see a team so evidently have a plan A, B, and C of how they're going to score, because you don't often see it, and particularly in this tournament so far, teams have their way of playing, and yes, they adapt it to their opposition, but it's very obvious almost immediately how a team's going to play. In Australia, I wouldn't be able to guess what they're going to do next.
Yeah, but that boils down to quality, because if you've got different plans, you have to have the ability to execute it. So that says a lot about the quality of the players in the side.
Dispossessed in the middle of the park, though, covering defenders in green. Shimmy across rather rapidly and deal with it. Again, it's such an interesting contest, this one. I guess the juice is flowing on an afternoon of soccer. Brilliant game previous to this. Right-footed effort blocked immediately. Adeli. Futsal man originally, Adeli. Little bit different in soccer. Over the line. Again, another thing here, we've got some newer teams perhaps without as much experience, and we've seen a couple of those little mistakes in the opening 2 games where you're stepping over the line, you're trying to throw the ball in from a goal kick. It's good to see a little bit of an experience. It livens things up a little bit, but the coaches won't like it.
Oh, they absolutely won't like it. But one thing I do know, having commentated on hundreds of soccer games now, is that they never learn.
Much to the frustration of those coaches in the dugout below us, and the nerves will be high in there. As I said, they are just below us, and you can really feel the tension. Very vocal from the island coaches down to my right. A little bit more, I'm going to call it composure, because there's no panic really from either side, but the Aussies much happier to watch on. Here perhaps an opportunity, another block comes in. They're getting the bodies on the line. I've said that a few times now. Ryan Lynch this time. He made his debut last year, slotting in nicely.
Well, that's one thing you can guarantee about Ireland. They won't stop, they'll fight.
Jack Allen sends it long for Heelan. Difficult really to give the forwards a chance of bringing it down. The Aussies press so well. They've won themselves a kick in high up the field, laid off, left-footed effort. There was a man arriving at the back stick, should I say. Sepping, making his run from deep.
Not sure Watkin knew he was there either, Rob. It's fortunate it didn't land at the feet of the Aussie there.
Fine margins. Here's Morrison. That ball slightly wayward. Issues here for the Australians. Ball stays in play. Referee confident with that call. Good use of the body there as well.
Nice.
From Proudfoot.
Really lovely that from Proudfoot. Just saw it coming, dropped the shoulder, just trotted off the other way.
It's a little Van Dijk-esque shepherd in there, you know, and they just use the strength and they make it look easy. It's not easy. Adeli is a big man. Long ball this time for Heelan, punched away. This could land anywhere. Proudfoot gets a chest to it, and he's done well there. He's won his side a kick in, but again, body's on the line.
yeah, there's a lot to lose there for Proudfoot, but he was full-blooded.
Well, they won't walk away from this tournament without their fair share of bruises, the Irish. They'll care a lot less should they pick up a victory in their opening game. They drew their opening game last year. If they can better that here, it would be massive. They've got to deal with this though. Gold jerseys flooded forward again, and they've just rushed the opportunity there. Joey Guest, well, he was very aware of the runner on his outside right, and I think just a little bit too keen to hit him, really.
Yeah, I can't make too many excuses for Guest on that one.
Lynch, back to his keeper, who must be pretty high on life at the moment. A dream start for him. A couple of good saves.
I'll go a long way, that, Rob, won't it?
It will, it does, it does. For these teams, it's all about confidence. We've seen these sides, when they play with confidence, they're just better. Czechia in the last game, they got their confidence up. When things start clicking, Teams just look different. And Onofre doing his best to lift his team here. On a wander at the moment, taking a risk there though. He's out of his net and the ball's at the feet of a gold jersey.
Well, Ireland are asking Onofre to, come out and use his feet. And I don't think that's the easiest thing in the world for him.
Scrappy here, left-footed off the bar. Chances there for the Aussies to secure the opening goal. It was something from nothing, just stabbed at it. Here come Ireland, up the other way. Allen, right-footed effort, blocked by Morrison, and there is the half-time whistle. A late bit of drama in a game, surprisingly, that remains 0-0. But both teams relatively happy with how they started the game, you'd imagine.
Yeah, it's a mixture, really. I think they'll be pleased and not at the same time, because we've mentioned it before, they both want to win this game. I think that Ireland will just feel as though they need a little bit more in terms of how they're stringing things together and how they're breaking Australia down. The Aussies' plan on the counter has been good. They've also got that long ball. There's been a couple of misplaced passes, would be my only criticism of Australia at the moment, but there's so much on the line on this one that I think it's going to go down to being a goal in it, if there is to be one. And they both know, as we mentioned earlier, just how much it means to get the win on the first day. So a lot at stake. I think it will remain tight in the second half. It may boil down to who has the most concentration and strength of mind throughout the game, not to make a mistake.
Well, a big second half then to come in Group A. It's the final ball that's missing, and really, the first team to find it just might put themselves in a brilliant position to qualify from this group. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Un fuerte aplauso, despídelos con un fuerte aplauso. So a big applause for the Dragon Dance. And we are ready for the second half. ¿Estamos listos? Australia, are you ready? Okay. Ireland, are you ready for the second match? Our referees, are you ready? Yeah? Okay. Y todo el público aquí presente, ¿están listos?
Very warm welcome back then. The Soccer World Championships are in full flow here in Cancun. It's been a brilliant start to day two, and what a second half we have to come. It is Australia taking on Ireland. Dan, an intriguing first half, but a cagey one at that.
Yeah, I think it will stay cagey. As I mentioned before the break, or at the break, I think it will maybe be decided by one goal if there is to be a winner.
You mentioned at the start of the game, Australia slightly unlucky in the past. The change of fortune is due, you'd imagine. Ireland, though, working hard. Early opportunity to get a ball in from Adeli, right-footed, blocked again. They've done a good job, Ireland, at getting those blocks in, but I'm sure the coaches will be hoping for a little bit more action at the other end of the field in the second half. Corner ball, though, again, and it will be Aussie ball. De Silva to take it. Nice 1-2 for him. Watkin at attention. Just looking to slide one in there, De Silva. There were bodies in the box. The avenue immediately closed off. Drilled in, though, and a heavy touch gives the opportunity to Ryan Lynch to clear. Lively in these opening few minutes then of the second half. Young sends it to Joey Guest, and Young once again looking for that long ball to De Silva, and that's the part that's missing. That's the cog that isn't quite turning for Australia.
Yep.
That final ball slightly wayward, just half a yard too long, or the touch a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, you're spot on, Rob. It's come from the same man, unfortunately, a few times.
You'd have to say, though, if you are Ireland, when it does click for Australia, they'll have one or two issues, and serious issues to deal with. For now, though, it remains 0-0. Speranza.
Gone a lot longer in the second half, Australia. Look at the bodies up by the box.
Certainly not afraid to send a few forward. They're not overcommitting yet. We saw in the first half, Ryan perfectly capable of guiding that counter-attack and counter-attacking at pace. We saw it a handful of times from the Irish.
Well, that's one thing it is going to offer up, isn't it?
Left-footed effort. Again, Watkin plonking his head on it.
Ever reliable, Sam Watkin.
Indeed. And his height massively beneficial against Adeli in that area. They've got a real battle going on. You watch them off the ball. There's a couple of pushes, a couple of shoves. They'll enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but it is a contest at the back. And right now, the defenders of Ireland are doing their job. That looked like a foul to me, and the referee agrees. Speranza just a little bit too keen.
Yeah, just maybe went through him a little, didn't he? Ireland will be relieved to have got the free kick, though, because the break was on if the whistle didn't go.
I'm afraid on the wander, calling for options to come short. Finds one on this near touchline in Jack Allen. Inviting pressure on themselves a little bit there. Taken quickly. Australia ramping it up ever so slightly. Here's Adeli. Good footwork from him. Lays it off to Young, looking for a yard of space. Right-footed effort is blocked, and the second ball fiercely contested. Ryan looking to flick it over his head and get his team on the attack. Didn't quite manage to control it, and the ball is with De Silva. Fluid dribbler is De Silva. That's a nice touch, and handball is the call.
Harsh.
Harsh. He's not wrong, but it's harsh.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
I'm not a man to argue with the officials too often, because
well,
they do tend to get it spot on.
That's right. They're
not
very often wrong, are they?
No. I learned that the hard way. Ryan Lynch then back to Onofre. Quicker from Ireland now. That's lovely. Lynch again. Looking for options. Rob Ryan in the area. Cross comes short, not short.
Yeah, well, he's had a dig there, hasn't he, Lynch? It didn't come off, but it certainly did offer up and open up for him to take the shot. Don't blame him at all for having a pop from that.
This game being played at pretty good intensity at the moment. Here come Australia again. The shot is blocked, and how many blocks have these Irish boys made inside their own area, let alone the rest of the park? They'll be grateful for the cloud cover at the moment.
It's just about as that time ticks by, just maintaining that concentration, keeping those levels up.
Do have to be fiercely concentrated on what you're doing, because half a yard, we've seen it in this tournament already. Half a yard players can stick it in the back of your net. Here is Guest, drills one into Adeli, a heavy touch, and that clearance from Allen could have gone anywhere.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's been a couple of passes, hasn't there? We mentioned with Guest not quite getting it right. He got that one absolutely spot on. That was a delicious little pass into the area.
He hit his mark, and we said when the Aussies start hitting their mark, alarm bells will ring for the Irish. Here they come, though. Walking, charging up the field just behind Ryan.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. Just needed it in front, didn't he, Rob Ryan? He made the run well. They broke well, they broke at speed, they found some space, just a little behind him. If he gets that in his stride, Rob Ryan's right in.
Well, Joey Guest just prevented from taking the kick in. Some serious communication going on over on the far side. Bit of confusion below me, though. I think we will continue, and we will. Not too sure what that was about. Regardless, play is back underway. Bodie Denton, his turn to inspect the centre circle. Wide to Young. First time ball forward to Burgess. Burgess again. He'll want to go forward. Options limited though. Good shape from Ireland. Young looking for that cutting pass, and Adeli lunging for it. Just loses his footing.
Yeah, he was saying that he was pushed. I'm not sure. He's a handful though, isn't he, Adeli?
He is indeed,
really putting
he is.
himself, although I'll tell you what, credit where it's due, Jack Allen has marshalled him really well. His defensive work today so far has been tip-top.
It's a great battle to watch, and we haven't really seen that yet. You get it every so often where two players just clash and battle it out all the way through. And you mentioned the captain doing his defensive duties well. That's lovely footwork from Carolyn. Just too much at the end, and a slight slip there. The turf is a little wet still.
It's a shame because the footwork's good, but he's just running further and further away to that touchline, and he ran out of space, and he didn't have anything when he gets his head up in front of him to pass to, so he had to do it by himself.
Encouraging though, here's Burgess. It is that touch. If they can get the touch right in the final third, Australia, you'd imagine a chance would come. Good strength up top. Young looking to hit his man on the byline there. He was free.
Yep.
Guest pressure now from Australia, moving ball, and we see one of those little errors that just give Ireland that bit of respite that I'm sure now that the sun has made its way out from behind the clouds.
It's details, isn't it?
It is indeed. And another slip there. That bottom left corner, we've seen it a few times. I'm not sure if it's just holding a little bit of water. We did have some heavy rainfall this morning as we made our way reluctantly to the stadium. Carolyn again under some serious pressure from his opposite number. Digs out a cross, appeals to the referee. Not even a flinch though. And Proudfoot will escort the ball over the line. Power now back on the field. They're shifting the pack pretty regularly, keeping those fresh legs on the field. Onofre moving forward, not really a benefit again.
No, but do you know what? I'm watching Onofre when he comes forward and he's getting his head up and he doesn't have a pass on.
It hasn't worked. He's come forward 2 or 3 times now. Make no mistake, the only reason they're still in the game really is because of his spectacular save in the first half. But that route to goal proved fruitless so far.
Yeah, well, you know why Onofre's being asked to go up, and it's to try and create the space, but he needs some movement and someone to come and offer up, because a couple of times he's had to make blind passes.
Good ball from Carolyn, lovely touch from Power. Jumping in there though was Burgess, and the opportunity is missed. Still with Ireland though, and Proudfoot's ball sent into the stand.
Just raising in temperature, Rob. I wonder if that's just going to suit the Australians for the last 10 minutes.
They'll be right at home. This is a lovely Saturday morning temperature for them, especially at this time of year. The Irish boys, much more of my...
Oh, they'll be cooking. They'll be cooking.
I have to borrow some of Rob Ryan's sun cream. But that switch again goes askew from askew. Back into play. Really has been a bit of a chess match here. Neither team wanting to flinch first. Carolyn to Power. Done well actually there to win a kick in. Burgess, he's all over the shop. Burgess is plenty of desire to get a boot in. Doesn't seem affected at all by the temperature.
Tell you what, Carolyn's feet at times have been tricky today, haven't they?
It's good to watch, really is. Just needs those options drilled in by Proudfoot, cleared away.
Last 10, Rob. Less than that, really, 9.5. Still, it looks as though if it's going to be a game that's decided, it's by 1.
Well, we spoke to the teams in the build-up. Extremely driven Ireland to improve on their opening game result, but it's the Aussies coming forward here. Right-footed effort from De Silva off the advertisement boards at the back. They do look dangerous, De Silva in particular, when he's got the ball at feet.
Well, I like the fact that he wasn't shy in coming forward either. He just continued to drive and he tried to wriggle through and find a way. Didn't stop.
Given away in the middle of the park. Here is De Silva again, looking dangerous. A blind pass. And Ryan gets his foot there. A bit of frustration creeping through from Rob Ryan, tracking back. And a rolling ball again. That is, I know you say they never learn, but the inexperience there. A couple of times now, they've been in good positions in the final third, and either a moving ball or a foot over the line has meant they've had to surrender possession. What can they do here? Inside the last 10 minutes then, on a freight to Mimna. Back to his goalkeeper. He's got his head up, as Dan said, looking for options. He needs a bit of movement off the ball. Burgess probing, good touch from Power. Mimna coming forward now. Here's Dara Heelan on the field. A foul off the ball. No, says the referee, on your feet. And Dara Heelan will win a corner for Ireland.
That was much more like it though. Andy Power just coming and offering up, getting that backside in, getting on the ball.
Heelan then to deliver the corner. He's got Carolyn to his right. That's the option he goes with. And left-footed. And that is with El Crocodiles.
Yeah, he's better than that.
A scoop to Bodie Denton. Neither keeper really seemed to like coming out of their box. It's not quite the performance we saw from the Mexican man last night. Here's a skew again. Stepping to his right, Burgess, and that one all of a sudden looked a little bit dangerous. A heart skipping a beat there perhaps for Lucas Onofre. In the end it was wide.
Yep, he definitely had a little think about that, didn't he, Lucas?
You could almost see it in his eyes from here. That long ball looking for Power, cut out by Burgess though. He's been effective, Burgess. I quite like him.
Oh, I like a lot of them, bro.
Yeah.
I really think this Australia side's got some good players.
It's just always nice when you see a side just giving a bit of everything. They're trying to make it work. They're not afraid to come forward. They're entertaining to watch. They've certainly got a bit of skill about them. Here is Burgess, proving to be a bit of a workhorse for the Aussies. Sepping on the right-hand side. That's a beautiful ball to the back stick. Chaos in the area. An opportunity for the Aussies, and that is huge. The score remains 0-0, Dan, and how on earth it's 0-0, I can't tell you.
Well, Andy Power, take a bow there. You've just saved Ireland, and that's what he's about.
Well, the Irish defender show reels are just getting longer and longer as this game goes on.
No nonsense, Andrew Power. I absolutely love it.
He's your kind of player, absolutely. Corner ball, De Silva to take. Silky player, De Silva. That one, though, sends the ball trickling back to his goalkeeper.
I'll tell you what, though, Rob, Sepping and number 16 just rolled it back to the keeper there. He's made some beautiful passes as well. He's got great feet.
Bodie Denton out wide. Better from the Aussies. To the dead ball line it goes. Flicked over. And there's a little bit of confusion as to whose ball that is. It is a corner ball. Time ticking away. 6 to go. A goal now would be massive. De Silva to take the corner. Both teams desperate for a victory. Adeli looking to absolutely thunder one. And no surprise, Proudfoot did not hesitate to stick his body in there.
Oh, I love the reaction of Proudfoot.
He didn't even flinch.
He didn't care, did he? He's an absolute unit, the guy.
He's a Terminator.
Proudfoot just went, well, you booted me. He wanted the free kick. He said, I'm not having it. Just trotted off.
Walked off like the Terminator.
What a guy.
Adeli is twice the size of him.
Don't think I've had to get booted by Adeli.
No chance. So then, just under 5 minutes to go. A new ball needed. I think they've popped the ball there. They've called for a new one. It was a heavy coming together. It's been a great watch, man, this game. It's just good.
Well, you'll look at it if you haven't watched the game after and say, oh, it was 0-0. It's not been a 0-0. I mean, yes, there hasn't been enough in front of goal for either side. That is definite. You know, it's missing that little cutting edge, and of course, there's been a couple of good saves. The Onofre one in the first half was just unreal. Now, that's the only thing that's been missing, but in terms of the contest, it's been a really terrific watch.
Onofre's ball headed clear, falls to Power, but De Silva's there, and his composure on the ball. Certainly that calming element that Australia need right now. De Silva coming forward, looking for the pass. Anywhere will do for now. It's back with Bodie Denton. Crunch time is what you'd call it. Here is a scoop. Adeli, beautiful layoff from him, and Watkin with something to deal with, which he does.
Every time. It's a sure thing.
Must be so encouraging for the other players just to know your captain has it under control.
He's a leader as well, though, Rob. He's a proper leader, not just on it, but off the pitch. Has high standards.
But it goes both ways. He's seen his team today put their bodies on the line. I've said that a few times, but that's what they're doing. If you can't make it work in the final third, you've got to keep it tight to the back. And the effort at the back certainly hasn't been short. The Australians have been impressive. You said it. It's the final third where the issues are, but the rest of it, they're looking pretty good. Back to Denton once more. The levels dropping ever so slightly. The sun very much full beam as it stands, and that does suit the Australians more. There's no denying it. They'll be far more used to these conditions. Dara Heelan just looked to dink one there past De Silva. Yeah,
but before he did the dink, Rob, the little bit of understanding and know how to get away from his man under pressure there. There was a couple of people absolutely screamed at him. They didn't think he knew that he had a man on, but he just carefully manoeuvred his body just to walk away unscathed.
His head was on the pivot. That's a good ball from Watkin to Carolyn. Carolyn, left-footed, blocked. Speranza does just seem to get in there at the last second. And talk about opportunities in this game. Other than the save from Lucas Onofre, there hasn't really been many clear-cut opportunities. Neither team will walk away thinking they missed their chances. They hadn't really created them.
No, well, I mean, there's the frustration. We're not disappointed we haven't missed our chances, but we're disappointed we haven't made many.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there one chance? Is there a moment? And like, it's early in the tournament, but it would be a bit of a hero.
A draw keeps both in it. A win does wonders.
Massive. Absolutely massive. And as much as you do want to win it, you certainly do not want to lose it. And you'd imagine a goal would be enough. Watkin back to his keeper. Better, a rare misplaced touch from Carolyn presents an opportunity here to Australia, and that's a fantastic atonement for his error. The danger there with De Silva, bodies all over the floor from Ireland, and you can see what it means to them. My word.
I'm sat here giggling to myself because it's just fantastic to see some players out there with so much fight. They just won't die, will they? They won't let them in, they won't let them through. It's just pure energy and emotion and passion and desire not to lose the game, not to concede the goal.
But that emotion and passion and desire, I think it's fair to say, is being mirrored by the Australians.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that.
De Silva to Young, plays the 1-2. De Silva, silky feet, little dink into the area, another big save. Adeli was there, just looking to guide it on target, but Lucas Onofre keeps his side in the game.
I think he's top of the polls for keeper of the tournament so far. No, it's early.
De Silva again to Young. Almost a mirror image of what we've just seen. This time, though, Ireland managed to win possession, but it will be Australia ball, camped inside opposition territory now for the closing moments of this game. De Silva, Adeli was there. The shot comes in from Speranza. Never on target, though, but they have won a corner. De Silva again, urgency now in the Australian play. Guest, out wide it goes, left-footed cross and high and wide. And the opportunity now as the clock heads into the red was missed.
Well, maybe one last throw of the dice from somewhere. I think that ball was moving.
You said it, Dan. One last roll of the dice. Lucas Onofre will be delighted with his performance. It's down to his forwards now to bring home the 3 points. That's a ball over the top. Is this the moment? It would be huge, and it's skied over the bar. David Mimna with the moment.
He'll be dreaming about that one tonight, Rob. What could have been for Mimna. It's a lovely touch.
The old classic saw his name in lights there, and believe me, they would have been in lights had that gone in. For now, though, it remains 0-0. The clock very much in the red. A goal is a winner. De Silva, and it's in. They've done it. The Australians knocked, and at the death, they've scored the goal, which surely now will put them in a brilliant position to progress from Group A. It's heartbreak for the Irish.
Switched off there, Rob. They've just switched off. Too much room there. Silva wasn't going to miss. And what a moment that is for Australia. Absolutely massive. And you can imagine the scenes is going to be in the Australian camp after this. They are thrilled.
There is the full-time whistle. Absolute heartbreak for the boys in green. They battled so hard defensively. They were immense. Lucas Onofre made some spectacular saves. One just at the end of the game there, and you thought it would be enough to at least come away with a draw. And right at the death, De Silva, a silky touch and a superb finish. And the Australians take home the victory. Dan, it was a superb watch. How big is that in Group A?
Well, it's everything, isn't it? For Australia now, they know that they've got the momentum and that the pendulum has swung their way in that search for second place. Belgium's not going to be an easy game either. Pretty sure Mexico won't be. Ireland have got work to do. It's amazing because Ireland spent that whole game getting it right, and right at the death in the last minute, they just switched off. And that can be the difference. We said it earlier, it's details. And credit to Australia, they had a few different plans. They got some brilliant little players in there. They mixed it up, they kept going, and they found a way through, and congratulations to them.
Congratulations indeed. It was a massive game, and you could feel it all the way through. Neither team wanted to lose, but both knew a victory would be huge. Soccer World Championships continue to deliver. We've seen two fantastic games so far. Up next, it's Morocco against Honduras. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Felicidades a nuestros referees también. Muy buen juego el que dieron estas dos selecciones. Y Australia se llevó el anhelado gol después de todo este encuentro deportivo. Thank you so much to our referees. Gracias a nuestros referees, gracias a todas las personas que están presentes esta tarde en el segundo día